First match we're going to get to is Tiffany Stratton. Is it time for Tiffy to lose the WWE Women's Championship to the Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill? Damascus Dez, what say you about this here match prediction-wise, sir?
See, the thing about this, Jade just won this Queen of the Ring. She's set up. She's nice. But Tiffy just had a victory at Evolution against Charlotte Flair. Now the question here is, do we see that, oh, she got the win over Charlotte Flair, so it's okay that she loses to Jade? Or do we say we just gave her this victory over Charlotte, so we need to solidify her as our champion and have her beat and retain against Jade? Now, there are a couple things here that change my perspective on this match. The first of which is, normally, it's like until a couple weeks ago, we had Naomi with the Money in the Bank, but that's no longer the case anymore. So I was thinking, at first I was thinking, well, hell, maybe Jade beats Tiffy, and then Naomi cashes in to screw over Jade. Because I don't feel like Jade is ready to be women's champion, personally. I think she's in a good spot. I think she's, having her high on the card is fine. I'm down with that. She's learning. She's growing. She is 100% better than she ever was in AEW. But I still don't quite feel like she's ready to be the champion. Naomi, on the other hand, has been around for a while. I haven't always been her biggest fan. I've never liked a few of her moves. So, if Tiffy was in this situation right here where she could lose the title and then Jade lose it immediately after to have Naomi be the champion, then we can have something going with that. But like I said, I don't think Jade's ready. I don't think it's time. Personally, I think instead what we're going to end up having here, I think Tiffy's going to remain the champion. I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton wins and it retains her title. You have no audio, my man.
Lance, we can't hear you.
All right, Damascus Dez has spoken with stolen property on his shoulder. Vincent Kennedy Bucci, what say you about this singles match for the WWE Women's Championship?
Well, respectfully, I do need to make one quick revision. Desmond made a lot of valid points, but I need to correct something. At Evolution, it was not Charlotte Flair. It was Trish Stratus.
You are correct.
Charlotte was WrestleMania.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Mistake.
Yeah, it's okay. Like I said, I'm just saying that's the one revision. Other than that, valid points. Here's how and speaking of the Charlotte Flair, this was my thing with Tiffy. And you guys know this all the way back at WrestleMania. Like I said, when she was scheduled to face Charlotte Flair, there was a laundry list of reasons why I weren't happy. Some of them were personal, but from a professional standpoint, I said my fear going into that match was that if Charlotte Flair had won, Tiffy would have been buried as a talent. For the simple fact that they had not established her enough as a champion. She needed that win over Charlotte Flair, and thank the wrestling gods she got it. And it was a banger of a match, I can't deny it. Also, what we've seen over the last few months, she settled her score with Nia Jax, and she just beat arguably one of the greatest women's champions of all time in Trish Stratus. The most she may not be, whether she's the greatest of all time, we can debate that, but she's definitely the most decorated women's champion right now, with the most title reigns of anyone who's held it. And I feel like with that win over Trish Stratus, I feel if Tiffy does take this loss, it won't kill her, because they've given her big names to beat. And also,
I can agree to that.
Yes. And I do feel like, again, one of my biggest complaints about modern wrestling is I always say we have a lot of wrestlers, but stars are a whole nother ballgame. We got a lot of wrestlers, but this number of stars is limited. Now, they've been growing some over time, but there are still not enough. And the women's division especially, I think it's time we need a star, and Jade Cargill can be that star. So I think she's ready, and I feel like SummerSlam, which is now the second biggest show if it wasn't already because of the 2-night event, I feel like Jade Cargill, they gave her the Queen of the Ring, and if Naomi was in this, I would probably think Naomi would cash in to screw Jade Cargill, but obviously not the case. So I feel like they're giving Jade the green light to be the champion by sending Naomi to the other brand. So that's why I'm going to go with Jade Cargill to win this. I feel like Tiffy's been established. She could take the loss, and we can now build another star for the women's division that we desperately need.
We agree on a lot of those points. The only thing we disagree on is I still don't feel like Jade is ready to run a full program as champion yet. That's my only bit.
And that's fair. And if she wins, we'll find out together. I look at it like that.
That's fair.
Yeah, either months from now you'll come back and say I'm right, or I'll come back and say you're right. One of those two things is going to happen if she wins.
Yeah, you guys raise a lot of points. I don't want to beat a dead horse here, including that is on Jade's head, but I think that she is ready. I don't see any reason, especially the way they've been pushing her subtly at first, but now it's in my face. And to your point, Tiffany's established. I think you said everything that needs to be said, gentlemen. I, too, am going to go with Jade Cargill to become women's champion after Saturday night.